good to
Here,
go?
ready? All right, I will call the meeting to order. Its agenda, date, time, and location were properly announced. Thank you for coming tonight. We do have a couple out for sports, our sport parents. And so we will start off with the approval of the minutes for the April 24th, 2023 regular meeting. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? I'll second. Rini, any questions, corrections? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the checks for, what is this? For the month of April in the amount of $977,602.49. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Chuck, is there a second? Great. Okay. Any questions?
I actually had a few and I didn't reach out, so I don't necessarily expect it answered, and I see Patty's not here.
Yeah.
Just a few things. I wondered about the shooting rebounding machine for $7,000.
Yep,
And how that was funded.
that is partially funded by us and also by the Booster Club. I don't know if you heard anything, probably Susan might have heard something. But it was a collaborative of a bunch of different entities that all threw in it, because I think all said and done, it's about a $14,000 piece of machinery that when you're shooting, it's a bit there, and then you can have it follow you and some other crazy stuff that I always had to chase my own rebound back in the day. So yeah, it's pretty standard operating procedures for basketballs, for kids with that. So yeah, we just keeping up with the Joneses on that one.
And then the camera corner right under that for $38,000. I just wondered what that was
That's
for.
probably laptops, right? 38,000 for camera corner.
Parts of the, we have this year, we have Wi-Fi coming in from them, we've got another
Was that the wireless, the hot?
That's probably part of the wireless that we ordered back in July that showed up, or it's the wireless.
And this was just funds from our budget or from?
This is that E-rated, right?
E-rated,
Yep.
So we'll get a portion of it paid. I just don't remember which.
Are you familiar with E-rate? So E-rate, the state of Wisconsin has a budget that we get reimbursed.
It's from the FCC, that's from the Fed, we get about 70%. They get reimbursed on stuff that runs our internet, or our internet itself, and also the equipment provided. So, that's what we're looking at. So, that's like part of our Wi-Fi, part of our firewall,
And it was all, it's part of our Fund 10 budget. But we try to utilize as much of our E-rate as possible, and actually Lee has done a fantastic job of just keeping us up to par with what everyone's doing as far as firewalls and access points and all that other good stuff.
we get a certain amount that we spend every 5 years for equipment. There's no real limit on our internet.
This stuff will all meld in with our upcoming referendum. And
Yeah, that's part of what we did when we started looking at like the Wi-Fi and
We also use E-rate. We have a small little server behind that cinder block wall. There's like a little kitchenette. So knowing that this is going to be changing, Lee actually did E-rate, so using 70% reimbursement to clean that out so we can get that over to make it less expensive for the referendum. So already trying to think ahead and use that finances as best possible. Great. Got another one? Keep going.
One more.
So far, we're 2 for 2. I feel good. That's a good Patty question, but it will come back as reimbursement, so, let's see if it's,
So it may come down here in the reimbursement
yeah,
section.
Yeah, it does come in, we do receive like a check.
we have to spend it and they get it. Okay, Reed?
The wilderness room reimbursement is over 2,000. I just wondered, that's the American Wilderness class, I'm guessing? When they went on their overnight, or what,
Or is, you said 2,000?
it was,
What page is it on?
it's on the second page, about, I don't know, a third of the way down. Almost half. It was to, Mr. Sampson, a reimbursement for the rooms. I know they had an overnight.
764, check number 7.
The second page is the top one, say town and country, the top line of town and country, it's what, town part of it?
Just follow the numbers in the row.
Oh, yeah, what number is it?
764,
Okay, got it.
under Sampson.
That speaks to me, like, we've had students at the Wilderness Resort.
Would that be a senior trip? Did they do a senior trip?
Okay.
That would be what.
Okay.
Oh,
There you go. That would make sense, there you go.
And then they pay for that.
They pay for that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yo, perfect timing. We were almost 2 for 1, but no, now we're 3 for 3.
And then the BSN sports at the bottom of the page for 4,000, do you know what?
That should be the, what's that? Is that uniforms? Because that's about the same number as the quarter zips for
Oh, you're right.
FBSN. So that might be the teacher appreciation.
Oh, okay. All right, last one is what's the debt book for 9,000?
Yeah, so the debt book, GASB, GASB is a new federal and budging requirement that anything that we have that's a lease, anything that is a multi-year contract, we have to show that out there as a expenditure and a future expenditure. It's Patty pretty much wanted to do a no lease, we're never leasing again because we lease our printing machines, we leased the buses before they were paid off. It was such a hoop jump, it was gonna make her life hell. And of course, federal government throws this out there, there's a company out there that will do it for you, you just have to put the requirements and it knows how to change it into the Woofer codes and all the other good stuff. And since Patty's really a one-person show, this will do all that. So Lee's been spending a lot of time. We have so many different electronic, like our Schoology and our different apps, all that stuff that is a multi-year relationship. We have to put this in GASB to prove that what our future.
Yeah, so of course, so, and we actually had a lot of subscriptions that are only single year, which don't fall under this,
So that's software, and is that an annual fee or a one-time? You buy it?
there's a part of it, there's part of it that is annual, part that's one time. So, there's we got to, service it, put it all in for us.
We're paying this fee to this company, and then they disperse that money to pay.
No, it's just a report.
They do the accounting, basically, they've been telling Patty how, what she
We're just doing the accounting aspect of it. Underbite.
And Patty is, yeah, yeah. Patty is as cheap as the day is long, that's why we love her as our business manager. And we talked about it, and she, when she looked at everything, she's like, you know what, I haven't found anything out there else that can do this, and this just takes hours and hours and hours and weeks of time away from what we have. 'Cause it's like, yes, exactly, it's really the way she looked at it, so.
How many years have we been using this?
This is our first year, so GASB just came
The
into
new
effect.
requirement.
GASB's been around a few years, and every year they make it a little tougher and a little tougher, and now this year they're bringing online leases and subscriptions. So, stay tuned, who knows what next year will bring, another layer. It has had some positives, it's really forced us to look at what are the subscriptions we have out there. Do we have redundancies in second grades using this app, you know, seventh grades using this? Because we have to have all these in one place, we're able to have some conversations, so. I don't think we're gonna find $9,000 worth of savings out of it, but we will keep Patty saner longer, which is always good.
Thank you, that was that.
No, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Then we have a cash summary.
Cash summary here, I just wanted to bring one thing to your attention, the Get Kids Ahead grant. If that doesn't look familiar, that's a grant, around mental health. And our people services are looking at different ways that we can service our students for next year, and, we have some plan time over the summer, to kind of keep having those conversations, so. We hear a lot about the mental health, and that's one of the grants that are helping us, our students.
Any questions? Right, okay, notifications of donations.
Yes, yes, we've had some. First of all, thank you to Lakeside Foods for $500. If you didn't see on Facebook, we had 3 inventors that are going to the National Henry Ford convention in Dearborn, Michigan, and the cost to get there is a little pricey. So Cindy and her crew have kind of found ways to help defer the cost for the families. There's some pretty cool inventions. One's a fly swatter and vacuum. The other one is a horses have a big ball that they like to play with to kind of keep their brains stimulated. One student found a way to pack it full of hay, so it's almost like those peanut butter, what are they called? Treat, yeah, for a horse. And the third one is, I'm blanking on it. It's a house-looking thing.
Oh, bed.
Oh, yes, yes. It's
Fighter that.
it can, if you're at a convention with a colleague, it can split a bed and then it can flip over into a thing. So,
Yeah, and the one, judge recommended getting patent from
Ooh,
Google
the
because
three.
he said that they were
Wow.
truly, there's nothing out there like.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Are these from seniors or what?
Middle
These
school.
middle schools.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And the fly trap vacuum was actually plastic welded together, so it actually has a working prototype of what it could look like. It's, you know, Cindy's been, since we've done the science and the STEM thing, she's finding all these really creative, great ways for our kids to really stay jazzed up about science, and it's just another way to do it, so it's fantastic. Mrs. Gano also got a comfy couch, donor from Donors Choose. And Ms. Schultz got $216 for an all aboard the organizational training classroom project. One I don't have on here, but got the call last week, and it's not official. But it looks like we'll be buying an extensively amount of furniture in the near future because our grant has been approved. So we're hoping that in the very near future, elementary and middle school will be using some referendum money, but matching that amount. So 250 from the referendum and 250 from the grant to get $500,000 for furniture. So another way we're trying to use our funds to make it go further. So really excited on that. Sammy and Susan have done a nice job talking to staff. What are we looking for? We talked to some of our local furniture manufacturers. We talked to others, and we're going to be in the process here in the next month to figure out how we're going to go. Good stuff.
Thank you. Comments from the public? I don't have any. That's scary. You didn't sign up and you have something to say? Not yet? Okay.
We always leave room for you, Gary.
District's PI 26 plan, academic career plan.
So we have to, actually, this was a little old, so we needed to refresh it, bring it in front. And this is just, if you remember academic career planning, this is really just the technical stuff we need to do for the things we're doing on a regular basis. And I don't know, Susan, if you want to kind of talk a little bit about it. I know Jake and Travis weren't able to be here, but it really just talks about how we're getting students prepared and what their programming is to get ready for the school year.
Yeah, and it is technically a K-12. Elementary, it looks different, but they are talking about careers and different things there. Middle school, it goes up a notch where we're inviting speakers in, having a careers class, academic and career planning class at Monterey speakers at 8th grade. And that's really getting the kids where they're doing inventories and thinking about what are those different pathways for their strengths. And then that's the start of really talking about high school, their 4-year plan of what classes based on the different types of interests that they have. And then coming into high school, we do academic and career planning lessons, and that's all the kids then digging deeper into those different pathways for post-high school options. So Jake and Pam really have some wonderful ideas of how to get even deeper with it from middle school going into high school. Jake would love to start attending those meetings with Pam and really solidifying that 4-year plan as they come into high school. So really lots of great activities that they're doing. Looking at the job fair and the different things at high school that we're doing and trying to add even a couple more activities.
When we talk about strong classrooms, we saw school acronyms, but strong classrooms are really the professional learning community, PLCs. How are we collaborating around learning? When we talk about strong culture, it's really around our PBIS and how are we building culture and positive behavior and doing that. But when we say strong connections with community, that is ACP. How do we find ways to get students connected with what we learn in here to the community? And I just think all of our levels between, we do our alumni day for homecoming in fall, we do interviews. Our students have so many different touch points with our community. It's because of ACP. So this is just a formal write-up of it, but it's not what's written down here. It's how you live it, and it's part of our DNA. So it's good stuff.
Is there a motion to approve?
So I have a question about it.
Can we have a motion?
Oh, sorry. So,
Okay, is there a second? Is there a second? Rini? Okay, have at it, sorry.
my phone for some reason, when somebody goes live, my phone decides I need to see it.
Yeah.
So in the So, like the line where it says the outlook for the state's economy is positive, although the ramifications of the environmental change are yet to be determined. I'd like to strike the to embrace the individual. they have it set up.
Well, they just said today it's $6.9 billion over the next 5 years, so I would say it's possible.
Can this be changed? Too late.
Actually, to do Robert rules, we would have to
We have to,
turn this down and then make another motion.
or we can amend it. But are you asking, is it too late for the motion or too late
No,
for this document?
Too late for the document, but I don't know what the rules are, how we do this. I guess I'm trying to support Katie's idea
Okay,
that we should make this change, because I agree with that.
so he can make the friendly amendment to Katie's. And that's what you're doing?
I'm making an amendment to the motion.
And then the second, you're okay with it? And Rainey, you're okay with it? So the motion is to approve the document without, as amended, without the, removing the, whatever line that was.
Although the ramifications of new viral strains are yet to be straight.
Okay. I hope you got this down, Becky, because, this
I
is
know.
what this lady does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, can I have your speed dial for the?
He'd be our surgeon of arms. So, so is there a second to that then?
It's been approved by the person who made the initial motion and the person who seconded it. So the amended motion is now on the floor for any further discussion or vote.
Add to this? And go for second or third? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Good job.
All right, thank you. Good job, Katie.
No, but I doesn't.
That was a good catch, yeah.
And it makes us use these Robert rules.
Yeah, exactly.
What else are we gonna use? All right, the co-op for girls soccer starting 23-24 year. Anybody say anything about that? Just something we need to do?
You know, unfortunately, I think, unfortunately, we don't have the participants in some of our sports. Fortunately, we have a very good alternative to work together with Northern Ozaki. You know, so I know I've gotten some emails of late about facilities and things like that, and I think we just need to go into this knowing that we're both trying to do what's best for all of our kids. However that goes, I know Brandon and Candy, our AD and the ladies, have really been talking about how we can do some of this, and, there may be some hiccups, nothing like this ever goes smoothly initially, but if we go into this positively, knowing that we're doing what's best, I know I'm the rainbow and unicorn guy, but, you know, we don't just have a varsity team, but you have a JV and a varsity, isn't that better for our students? Isn't that better that we can have developmental, where we don't have freshmen going against seniors and having some success? So, I think this is good. Would we love to just have our own teams and be here? Yes, but, there's some co-ops across the state that are winning state championships by doing this, and I don't know why we couldn't be one of those in the future. So, that's why we're recommending this. It's already been passed by Ozaki, and I'll be honest with you, Ozaki doesn't need us for this. They have enough. And it's just part of now, like, okay, we're in this together. We're going to do this, and we're doing what's best for both sets of our kids. And I mean, from a economic point of view on this, it's less reps, it's less transportation. We are saving taxpayer dollars.
Our girls soccer coach is comfortable, labor.
Understands would be a better word, I think, than in favor. And I think it's probably across the board, anytime you have to do this, you kind of understand. The board has some really well-written, guidelines, I wouldn't call it policy, we put it in guidelines, around any team needs to have 1.5 of the students that required on field or the court at that time. And by rights, they would be on, not probation, I was gonna say parole, that's not the right word. Probation, they'd be on probation this year, and if they would have those same numbers next year, we would, that's all, the sport isn't much better.
Unfortunately, we find ourselves right now in a situation where we get cancels and that's where we back to the year one from the alcohol. Which is in the whole rock.
Just a technical question. When they're combining co-oping, do they get, what kind of uniforms do they wear? Do they wear each respective, or do we have a blended?
We're doing a blended one, so, for the boys co-op, we are the sponsor for that, and they're helping pay for the jerseys. For the girls, they're the sponsoring school, we're helping pay for the jerseys. It just kind of fell in our rotations where the girls were up for us. Last year, the boys were up for them, so it's been another way to kind of combine forces. And I'm not sure, I don't know the name, I haven't heard yet, I don't know, have you heard?
No, I haven't.
I don't know.
I just suggested NORL mall.
As long as it's not the Griswolds.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve? Chris, is there a second? Katie? Any other questions or discussion?
I have one. I'm just wondering if there's an opportunity to talk about, I know that they're sponsoring school, but like talking about facility, our field is very accessible and parking is adequate. And their field, it can be challenging to get to. I just wondered if there's an opportunity for discussion on where especially the games are gonna be held.
I will say there's opportunity, and let's see how it kind of plays out with the boys' season in fall. And, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'd kind of like to, in some ways, however we do it, I'm sure everyone would like to play on their home, so are there gonna be some times that boys, we may play for Northern, play on their field, just so they get that for senior night, or we have 2 senior nights. There's a lot of things we wanna do to try to acknowledge that we're navigating through this, so I would hope we do the same for photos.
Well, and, I mean, we're changing we're gonna be playing larger teams, right? Or larger schools,
Well,
is that right? Because it changes.
That would be correct because
so we're D4 right now, or we D5, right? So that is that, but we're in the same conference, right?
we're in the same conference, but
Yeah.
Reedie's right.
And I'm just wondering, just as far as adequate parking too, just logistically, I do have a concern about that, so.
I've never been to their field, I'll take a look at it.
Are these schools on this list, the schools that will be playing, or are we playing, like, what schools are we gonna be playing?
We'll still be playing the Big
Playing
East.
our conference.
This is when we get to the playoffs.
Oh,
This is
okay,
schools that are around us.
okay, yeah, I see,
Then we're coming up against those.
okay.
All right, that makes sense.
And this was supposed to show we're not anywhere close to worrying about going to D3. Is what
I see.
this is supposed to.
Okay. Thank you.
And I thought that they'd work that out at least with boys, as far as, you know, things like that. I thought that was an agreement between the working some of those logistics, but good things that make sure that we're talking.
Right, and I don't know, I mean, it's been a year since I've been there, but I just didn't know if they'd made any improvements in their field or parking or anything like that.
Any other questions or discussion?
Still behind on the north side
Yeah.
and the west. Yeah, people.
Right, it's a small parking lot, and then you walk behind buildings to get to the field. It's a little bit of a hike to get there.
We still progress there.
Right,
I the first I heard about it, because I haven't been on their field before, was about 2 hours ago. So we'll have conversations.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Referendum discussion.
Everybody got the updates?
Yeah,
You
looks
get to
pretty cool.
see the first renderings of what it could look like. There's a lot that has to go into our conversations, and there's a lot of discussions here. Our core planning team has been, I can't say enough about our core planning team, our user groups. We have spent hours, talking to staff. We collectively have, I think, just in our user group meetings, it's getting up over 20, 25, 30 hours of conversations with them, making sure we get this right. So I think when we get to a plan, we're gonna have something that everybody's gonna be celebrating. I don't know, Chuck, if you wanna add anything to that,
Go ahead. I missed the last one, so.
We've just had great discussions. I think we're really kind of trying to think everything through and come up with what's gonna be best for our students, our staff, everyone.
it's been exciting to have the conversations and things we're able to do, so yeah. That's been good. Very good.
Next question. So you were talking before about live furniture. I thought this was probably another time to like point this out. But so like when St. Norbert did theirs, where like we went right, like their furniture is all like individual desks on wheels and that can turn to look at whatever they need to. They move around really easily. Everything at Concordia is like set still or like big enough tables. I think it's something that, like, there's probably more expensive, but it's something to consider when we're talking about like the UDL and all that kind of stuff, right? With different ways of doing it, fashion, right?
What,
So that probably
Yep.
come up.
No. We've had, the conversations we've had about floor coverings and furniture, and raisins and applesauce and carpeting and all the things we can. I can tell you furniture, what we're looking at is a table and chairs that can stand alone in rows, but can be grouped together any way we want. So regular, rectangular, chairs, now the tables and chairs, I don't have a picture here, but it allows you to put 6 tables together and then do a group here, or you can put them all in rows, or you can have them going all in a circle. It allows for that flexible design, and what we like about it is with these boards that we've purchased, there's no more front of the classroom. We can take this to the carpet corner, we can do this over here and watch something during breakfast. We have the opportunity to really use our classrooms, and our floor covering conversation has, we like the feel and the comfort of carpeting. They've come so far in carpeting around staining and all these other things, but our elementary students still eat in the classrooms. So right now, Sandy, what's the breakdown of how we're doing the classrooms again for floor coverings?
The proposal is that EC is 0 carpeting, 4K, 5K, 1 and 2, or 25% carpet, stamp, 75% laminate or some other flat surface, and 3rd grade next.
And what that does is, every classroom has a carpet corner, right, where you come down and do calendar, do those kind of fun things where everybody sits on the floor. But having carpeting isn't something we really want in a classroom, like the loose carpeting, because that's what happened, the rugs, thank you, the rugs. So this allows for high-end, professional, commercial grade carpeting in there that can be cleaned. It's not gonna, nobody's gonna be eating on it. We've had lots of discussion, but I feel good about where we've got with that, so. We may go with coasters on tables and chairs for older grades, but for little ones, nope, too much wiggly. We may do, they have like these little wiggle chairs and things like that that are good, that would be fine, but, what's that? Pokey stools, wobble chairs, the different things, so we're hoping to get to a place where we have uniform, but then that teachers can kind of create their own individual, like, okay, you have X amount for your classroom, you need so many tables, so many chairs, but do you want some regular chairs, some wobble chairs, do you want a kidney table, do you want, how do you want your teacher desk? So giving people some autonomy within,
Some visual similarity.
yeah, with similarities with it, so yeah.
Any other questions for a referendum? Board committee reports, policy committee met, and, we have some things later on the agenda. Budget committee met. Chuck? And insurance changes
Insurance changes,
coming up.
correct?
Administrative and support staff met. And Becky's here. We'll see what happens. All right, building reports.
Well, last week, Thursday, was our family literacy night. A week ago Thursday. Sorry, Lee.
A week ago Thursday was Family Literacy Night, where we welcomed families to come into the cafeteria, meet with different grade level teachers for some summer ideas for reading, inviting the local library to come in, and it was very, very well attended. We are wrapping up our spring Edmentum diagnostic testing, which is our final data point for the school year. We have one more week left to go, but most classes are finishing up like within the next couple of days, and that's kindergarten through 8th grade.
So we did move up day transition activity. So we started this last school year where to help the grade levels meet their teachers as they're moving up. So 5th grade went to 6th grade, 6th grade went to 7th grade, 7th grade to 8th grade, and 8th grade came on up to the high school. The 8th grade were able to visit all of the departments and just see some of the classes in action, which was really enlightening for some of the kids, even though they know the high school, very familiar. Actually being a part of some of the classes was a good experience for them. So it was very successful, and the kids have all met who their current core teachers, at least at the middle level, will be for next year. Cool Career Day. We did this back in the fall, and it was 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That they did it virtually, where they listened to different speakers on different careers. And so this was the second part of that, where they did it again just last week, and really some great speakers that they were able to learn from. They share their experiences in their different careers. So it's really a nice way for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade to learn about different potential careers as they're thinking ahead. And then this is always that time where we have lots of field trips. Camp Waikota was last week with 5th grade.
And 2nd grade was there today.
Yep, and we only had 2 kids that went into the lake. We retrieved them, so we came home with everyone. But it's really a great day. The kids have a lot of fun, but they do so many different activities. They do kayaking, canoeing, archery. It's just a really great experience for the kids. And so we had 8th grade just on Friday. They went to UW Green Bay and NWTC. It's really great for them to have this opportunity to see these 2 different campuses, to see what some potential post-high school life could be like for them, wherever they may go, but gives them a good feel of what university life might be like, as well as technical college. World War II field trips coming up this week for 6th and 7th grade, and they're looking forward to that, being able to delve deeper into about what they're learning right now in social studies. So AP testing, we are 100% complete. So very excited with that. The kids did a great job with all of their testing. And final exams. Seniors right now are taking final exams today, tomorrow, and then any makeups on Wednesday. Because of athletics, they may miss. Tomorrow's golf is gone and different things like that. So they're taking theirs now. Final exams will be for everyone else next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning.
Last week, with the help of our PTO, we celebrated Teacher Appreciation. There were different things, because they love us to pieces. There were different pieces of things that they shared with us each day of last week. Also last week, Thursday, was Food for America that our FFA puts on, where the kids get to go to the high school and they do a lot of farm-related activities. They meet animals. They do little projects with the kids. So learn where their food comes from is the goal for that. This coming Friday is our field day. Please say some kind words to those that are in charge of the weather because it does not look good right now. Yeah, the rest is yours. Yay.
I was gonna say, I think last year you had rain for part of it.
We did.
So scholarship night was another great successful night, $1.1 million given to our seniors. So we just have such a great community support with that. Job fair, our juniors went to the job fair last week, Wednesday at Cedar Grove Belgium High School, and really was a great experience for them. They came back, just have learned all different things with the different employers that they could speak to. Also, last week, Wednesday, we invited our 2 distinguished alumni recipients in, and they spoke personally with the seniors, where they could just talk about just what prepared them for when they were at Random Lake and into their next career. So it was really a nice opportunity for the seniors to speak directly with them and ask questions. Student recognition assemblies. So high school, middle school, we have those coming up. High school is Thursday morning. And that's where we recognize all of our letter winners, for athletics as well as academic winners, different department awards, and then we end the festivities with senior signing. So we acknowledge each senior and what they might be doing post high school, those who are going on into the world of work or those who are moving on into a secondary education opportunity. And then we have ceiling tiles that they will sign. We've got last year's ceiling tiles in the commons, high school commons right now, so they are already up, and we will then continue that tradition. And then graduation info. We've got practice this Thursday. Our senior parade walk will be Thursday at 10:35. We welcome public if they want to come and line our sidewalks as well as our high school hallway. And then
Looks good that day.
I know, it looks great. And then the ceremony on Friday. So it's winding up fast for our seniors.
For our strong community connections, this is field trip season. And every day this week, we've got some grade or 2 grades going somewhere. And it's usually very local. So those are strong connections that we have to our community and allowing our community to show off things that enhance our students' education. Also, 2 weeks ago, not last Friday, but the Friday before, was our annual family fun night. And oh my goodness, did they do it up this year? It was dinosaur themed. We had dinosaur activities that the kids could do in their classrooms all week. They had live action dinosaurs available at the fun fair. And it was an incredible fundraiser for our PTO.
And then last, want to do some student acknowledgement. So we have our Big East Scholar athletes. So Elena, Kinsey, Bennett, Kyle, Talon, Hannah, Hallie, Elizabeth, Abigail, Sawyer, and Nicholas. So give a shout out to our student athletes. We really had a great bunch of seniors out for athletics this year.
How have you been doing the senior tile thing?
We just started it last year.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next, policy committee, technical corrections to policies from Neola. Just a notification that, there were some technical corrections. Which Kim is just, they just changed the to the or something, basically. Okay, so that's just a notification. And then next, we have the approval of updated policies designed or designated for single readings, which the policy committee did decide that these, all but 3 would fall under the, that category for single reading. Because again, nothing major. They're policies already on the books. They just have some changes in them.
Formatting changes, changing the way the sequence it's written.
Yeah, so, all except for, policies 8800, 8600, 8800, and 8802. We would be entertaining a motion to approve as a single reading all the other policies listed here. Is there a motion for that?
Make a motion.
Rainey, is there a second? Chris, any questions or corrections? Discussion.
Chelsea looked over them closely.
We all did. Kim did several times.
Very good.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then that takes us into, this will be a first reading for policy 8600, which is transportation, which is a new policy for us. 8800 and 8802 are not new policies, they're just separated. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So, we decided to put those as a first reading so that everybody can make sure they have time to read through those. And, if you have any questions, we can deal with that. So that is just, for tonight, just first reading. We'll bring these back next month. Okey-doke. All right, next, it's what we've all been waiting for. New principal. So. Anybody want to say anything first?
I'll say something.
Right.
Okay. So first of all, we have Becky Charbonneau here. Gonna be filling some big shoes with Sandy and, yeah. But with that, have already been working here. The thing is, just to kind of remind everybody of the process, we had over 36 people apply for this. From there, we had 12 very highly capable individuals that we screened out. And from that, we brought it down to the top 3. And I think I even said this to Becky through the process. We had 3 fantastic applicants. The interviews, when we brought the larger group in to do the 3, it was kind of nice because I could sit back and say, you know what, any 3 of these would be fantastic. But Becky very quickly was the #1 choice, especially with the staff. Her cheery disposition, her understanding of instructional and design, and just the things that came out in the interview, she was by far our #1 candidate after the formal interview. So we're happy to have her on the team here and move forward. You can see all the fancy stuff that's up there, but just kind of going through the process. It was a great process. There's a lot of people really excited about the next chapter.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Chuck, is there a second? Katie? Rick?
I was gonna-
Yeah, we both said it.
Okay.
You can write them.
Okay, Katie, we'll go with that one. Any other discussions, questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
There we go.
Thank you, welcome.
Anything you want to say, Becky?
Yeah, I'm so excited to work with all of you. I just think Brandon and I have such a shining spot.
All right, next we have the approval of the list of May 2023 potential graduates as presented by Mrs. McDonald. Chris, would you like to make the motion?
Kyle still on it?
Yeah. Potential.
I saw it there last night.
Yeah.
Is there a second? Rini? Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. I assume you'll hand out the diploma.
Opposed?
No, I've been asked that by my sister-in-law and I told him most of the time, I'm pretty sure Kyle don't want that. And he
That's even
confirmed that.
more why you should do it.
He confirmed that, that would just be weird.
Fatal, right?
Yeah.
In front of
Love
everybody.
your son. It's about baby.
Will you sit up on the stage with,
Put it on TikTok.
yeah, will you be present on stage?
You wanna be on stage? You're invited.
What's that, Amy?
Yeah, the game is.
Amy,
Yeah, yeah.
Is Amy gonna hand out?
Sure, then I'm nice and close.
Okay, you wanna do it? Okay. There you go. Yeah, you have to be, you're there, you have to be up on stage.
Yeah.
Rewind that last part that was recorded, Lee.
I think that's it, yeah.
It's required, she has to be there.
Don't worry.
She is.
We're having-
That's what you said, right? Didn't you say that?
What?
Amy's handing out.
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you said yes.
No,
Amy's gonna be on stage though.
I'll be
Well,
there.
that's a
That's all I
confirmation
know.
she's going to. Yes.
And not all.
Yeah, she's gonna be up there. We weren't able to talk exactly, she's gonna hand it out, but she's gonna be up there, so she can hand it out, yeah.
Motion carries.
There you go. They're graduating either way.
No, I don't want to be. Okay, approval of insurance changes. This is what we just talked about in budget committee. Do either of you want to say something, Chuck, or?
I think Mike explained it better, but,
Okay.
Sure.
costs are going up and
Yeah.
we're all gonna share the burden.
There you go.
Okay, so, I said, so I wasn't gonna, I said something.
You'd say it better than I could, more succinct at least, there you go.
So, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Chuck, is there a second? Chris? Okay, any questions, discussion?
Are teachers aware of this?
It has been shared. We also have a policy or insurance committee gets together. We talk about what's the best way. We use Horton Group. Dan does a really nice job of kind of sharing the different opportunities and options we have. And we do it collaboratively. We're all in it together. So this isn't anything being done to anyone. It's just how we choose to do it together. So,
I think it's important to say that, the way I understood it, the rates actually went up, could have gone up to 18%,
Yeah.
but based on the agreements and the way it's worked, it'll be about a 9% increase.
9.75. We had to raise deductibles. We had to raise deductibles no matter what, because of how our plan is designed. There was a federal law change. So since that was going up, we just messed with the deductible, did one change, everything else is the same. Cause it seems like, I know we're all feeling this, it feels like every other year we're either changing insurance cards or our prescription drugs looks different, or there's some of that. There's no change except for the deductible, which we would prefer not have to mess with it, but since the government didn't really give us an option, we figured we'd just do it.
So you're keeping the increase down by increasing the deductible.
Yeah, our premium increase went from 18 to 9.75 by raising the deductible. And then we split the percentages by what they paid and what we paid.
Okay, any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have a, participation in the 660301 agreement with Cedar Grove, Belgium, and Oostburg for providing occupational services, for Random Lake students. This is something that we've done in the past, and, we'd like to continue that. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Oh. I'll
Chris
second.
and Chuck,
Yes.
any questions or discussion?
This is a great way, we're fortunate to be able to offer a full-time salary to somebody, and we have somebody that's just been around since I've been here, so, yeah, it's been fantastic.
Fair to say it's a cost savings overall.
Yeah, you know, cause we wouldn't be able to find somebody at a 40%, and by working together with the other districts, she's our employee, but the other districts help defer the cost, and, she's does a fantastic job of navigating through the different schools, and, we're very, very fortunate.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have another 660301 agreement for food service director, with Sheboygan Falls to share. with Amy. Is there a motion to continue that? Rini, is there a second? Katie, any questions or discussion?
Amy's fantastic, and we're lucky to have her services on our team.
All those in favor, please say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. We have one student, that has met conditions to apply for early graduation in January 2024. And Mrs. McDonald approves that application. So we'll see one of those next year. And that's just a notification. We don't have to act on that. School fees.
We are going to postpone that till next year. Thanks to some eagle-eyed board members, we were able to see a little snafu in how some numbers went in, so thank you, Katie, and we'll bring it back forward next month.
Next month.
And
Okay.
this wouldn't be effective until the end of August, so we have some time to get in front. But just in general, with the rising cost of wages and everything else, we're looking for ways to still stay competitive, but also make sure that we pay our people so we can keep them warm.
All but daycare?
And food services are reasonable, so we can
Okay.
do the first.
The general registration, fees will remain the same for 23-24, and the free and reduced, adjustments. Is that going up? Or is that to continue
That's a
at the $50 fee?
Yep.
All right, is there a motion to approve those two, and we'll come back to daycare and food service, or the food service will be
so
in
moved.
June. Chuck, is there a second? Katie? Any questions or discussion?
How long has it been that $50 fee for general, the reduced program? Has it been like that for a while?
Anyone else? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We do have, or we do not? No 21, it's just a placeholder in case. And we do have a notification of a salaried support, Ashley Smallish, food service for 2 years, and we thank her very much for her 2 years of service. And we have, open enrollment applications.
So you can see the open enrollment applications. There was a question on the highlighting. And when we have highlighted individuals, those are the same student that applied for multiple schools. So, as you can see, we had 18 applications for in and 20 for out. As we look at the historical data on the back sheets, we actually have, we're tied again for the last 2 years as the lowest number of out applications for the last 8 years. And not quite our highest, but, towards the top of our ins. So, not a bad year. I wish those numbers were flipped, but it's a process. Continue to navigate that process.
Any questions?
And are we gonna work on a survey to just send out
For
when
the
they
outs,
do,
yes.
to
Yep.
try to capture why?
I have that on my to-do list for June to create a survey for our 20 and just kind of give us a anonymous understanding of why you chose. And so we can have some hard data on that and some longitudinal data also, yes.
All right,
Are most of these, this might be a little too, are most of these ins and outs just, is it a geographical thing? Are they within our overall
It
area
is,
here, or is it hard to say?
it is a mixed bag of a lot of different reasons. You know, I think it's, I drive to the south, so I go past this district. I have a predisposition for this other district. It's I hate this last district, I'm coming to this, you know, like there's just a mixed bag of so many things, so one of the things we're going to do with the survey is try to kind of desegregate that out a little bit to see what's a regional piece, because we know we have families that live in our district that live closer to their neighboring school than they do their home school. We know we have some people that are disgruntled, it's just, sometimes we have to make choices that we make. And we have people that are choosing here and we wanna, you know, why are they choosing us over others too? So we'll get some data and I'm hoping to have something for you in the fall. And, we'll slowly do this, especially with the outs, and see what we find from that. In most of my conversations, a lot of the conversations when I was talking to people, they were maybe too nice. That's why I want to do a survey. But when we called, it was, oh, we just drive this way. It came off verbally as geographical reasons. This will maybe let us drill down a little deeper.
Good. I think it's important.
But I will say, anytime you have equal ins and outs, that's healthy. There's not many districts that have no ins, no outs. And, you know, the hope would be to have more ins and outs, because that's the healthiest, but at least we're getting it close to the same.
Are a lot of the ends teachers school?
No, not necessarily, in some cases. We have a family of 4 that have chosen us, that are coming in, so yeah, it's all a mixed bag of things, and, you know, we've had some really great things in the last few years that have happened here, and the word's getting out, and we just kind of keep moving on that, so.
So West Dallas, is that a family that's moving here?
This is an in from West Dallas.
They're looking.
Yeah.
I know, but they should move fast.
Yeah. Come on up.
If it's who I'm thinking, I think they're actually joining another family.
Somebody I used to work with. So you
Okay.
have the building right next to your own place?
Not that I'm aware of. Well, I thought they were coming to join another family that's already moved up here, or because of what they've done. I'm not positive, but I think it might be like a positive influence, like, hey, we moved here and we like it, so they might be coming.
Okay, those are our favorite band. Actually, all of them are our favorite band.
Yeah.
Anybody in it, right?
Anybody in is good, yes.
You know, I was gonna say, maybe you said it earlier, but the difference between the outs and ins this year is substantially improved over previously.
Yeah.
Wow. 11.
Yep.
Must be.
Working on it.
All right, well, let's keep in that direction. All right, Mike, what else do you have for us?
Real quickly, you heard graduation is coming up this Friday, 6:30 in the gym. It doesn't look like it's gonna be too blistering hot, but we do have AC if we need to now, so please, everybody come. It's always a fun event. I love when the gym's full, and we should have another packed house, especially with as many graduates as we have. I did want to put on your radar that, this week we will be posting a second shift custodial supervisor. We're going to see what kind of applicants are out there and, see if we can do something different with, what we do at night around cleaning and some of those other pieces. So right now, this is a way for us to explore what kind of people would be interested in a job like this. And then we had our legislative update today, and, it's, you know, we're a district that's a low per pupil district, which means we get $10,000 per student. There's some schools that get as much as $20,000 per, student, and, getting to talk to Devin and some of our other legislators, they look like there's some relief for low per pupil spending, low spending districts along with categorical aid. So if that truly happens, that would be a very nice thing for us. So anytime you run into any of our politicians or anywhere else, you can share how we're educating our students for nearly half of what other districts are. Those are the high spending ones. But it looks like that conversation will be positive for us in the next budget. We will know more sometime around mid-June is what they're telling us. So we're hoping all goes well there. We'll see how it goes. That'll make life a lot easier. And then we'll be through another biennium. And this is always tough because we don't know what our budget's going to be next year. But then we know what we have for the next 2 years. So we sent out contracts for our teachers today. And our other staff saying, you know what, your salaries won't be any less than this, but let's see what we're getting so we can put as much on the salary schedule and do as much as raises as possible, because we know inflation has hit everyone. So we'll keep everybody updated as we know more.
Right, so they wouldn't see that until the fall, or when do we?
I'm hoping we'll have a better idea in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We do a legislative breakfast every Monday of board meetings. And we joked with our legislators, if you have a budget to us, we don't need to meet next month. So our hope is we have it by June 18th by our next board meeting. And then at that point, we can talk a little bit about what we're budgeting for raises. Now we know what our insurance costs are. We'll have a better understanding of where we'll be.
Effective. Raises
July
would be-
1st.
Oh, okay,
Our hope will be July 1st, yeah.
really, right to the last minute.
It's every year.
That's terrible.
Politicians, that's how they like to work.
Yeah, and then next year we'll know what the following
Oh,
year, so
okay.
we'll have everything,
Yeah.
by the time we get to May, we'll have everything wrapped up. We probably could have it wrapped up by April if we wanted to, so. It's just part of the cadence of this is, 1 year we have to wait on pins and needles, and the next year we know what's gonna happen.
All right.
Patty's running special numbers.
Yeah, she wanted to be here for budget, but her granddaughter is singing in the choir in Slinger, and we said, yeah, go check out your granddaughter. We can go, we don't have any budget things to give updates right now anyway, so let's not waste your day. You go hang out there and we'll grill you next month.
All right.
I'd like to, I thought I saw it on the agenda, but I must have misread it. Prom. Haley did an amazing job with prom. Went well, kids had fun. If I want to embarrass my boys, I would stay dance. That would have been bad, so, but she did a really good job.
It's great to hear
Great.
that those issues are hopefully resolved.
Yeah?
And one last question. Kim, how many more times are you gonna be here? I'm just curious. No, I thought that,
Oh, that's Karen.
no,
Retired.
yeah, I thought you two were, well, I'm sorry. I thought that you were gonna be done at
No,
12, but
we
no,
don't.
I don't.
Well, you put us in an awkward
I
position.
know,
I know, I
We
put
can't
myself
get
in
rid
my-
of three of them out there.
Yeah, come on now.
We want you going nowhere, but I don't know why I thought that.
He's been on vacation.
Yeah, yeah.
My brain is really
He
fried.
drank the water down in Mexico.
I'm sorry about that. I put my foot in my mouth.
All right, would you like to make a motion to adjourn
I
this?
would love to.
Is there a second?
Please someone second it.
Did someone second it? Katie? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
I leave.
Motion carried.